Hello, we are Mina and Min Becker, and you
Becker.
are listening to the Scene World podcast.
So, today we are here with another podcast and another Gamescom special episode, our most listened episodes each year, so I thought we'd do it again. And more people to talk with. So, we have Martin Wisnowski, our blonde guy, Martin Amann, our brunette guy, H.J. Heller, our gray guy, and me.
Excuse me. That's paint. That's paint.
Yeah. Nice paint.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, to explain it, because of a certain pandemic, we had to do this Scene World thing this year in a live stream, and we have been very stressed out to make it perfection and make it work. And so perhaps let's start with a little roundup. How was it for you guys? Do you think it was a good replacement for the almost 500,000 visitors?
Yeah, at least the funny thing is, I'm living next to the Köln Messe, so usually Gamescom is. I'm having all the Scene World people here at my place usually, and I think the strangest moment was where the calendar told you, today Gamescom is beginning, and usually if Gamescom is beginning, then just like shitloads of people, nerds everywhere, but not this year. This was feeling very, very strange, just like you walk around empty streets. But you know, at the same time, without the pandemic, only cool people would be here and interested in computer games and stuff like that. But I think somehow the retro area with this, there was also this Discord channel and then the streaming all of the time, felt, at least for me, like a good replacement. I really got hooked into this retro feeling, and also just like 3 complete days of all this nerding with old computer games and stuff like that. So for me, it was cool to know that there's a stream and it will still last 2 days, and with all this Discord channel where all the other retro people are there, you felt also just like being connected and talk to the people again, of course, just in a virtual format. But I think for me, it felt good. It felt good, yeah.
What I found a bit surprising is that the Cologne Fair team, for some reason, decided to use a beta product for the Discord chat implementation to the homepage, and that really surprised me. How you would use a beta product, but from what I saw, the stream, it kept stable. The positive side effect of this is AJ was with us the first time.
Yeah, well,
cool. Yeah.
I was supposed to be. We were talking about actually my coming out there this time to take part in it, and that was sort of what I was planning on at the beginning of the year, and then the Roni hit, and that no longer was an option. So this was kind of nice to be able to. Why is this in my face? It was kind of nice to have that option to do that and to be on it remotely, you know, where I didn't actually have to spend money on a ticket and I could just, be here. Although
you can spend it now on a computer or something.
Yeah, although it was still, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and stumbling downstairs to start streaming and doing that while trying to record things simultaneously and keeping my eye on what was going on over there. It was different.
Yeah, it was a different kind of stress.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Because also one of the things that Gamescom did, aside from using a beta implementation of Discord in their chat, was also they didn't record any of the streams that took place in the retro area, leaving that all up to us to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Martin.
Yeah, that was one thing that surprised me the most is that this time, if you are at the fair, at the booth, you've got little stress and pressure, perhaps you could say, because a lot of people come there, ask you questions, and you stay there for at least 10 hours every day, and you have to prepare, you have to come down, and all these things. And this was so much nicer here for the 3 days. Actually, you had all your shows, your stuff, your Discord, but actually the stress was the week before. And what a stress it was to get all things done, because it's all new. We make recordings every week actually, but having this live, that was a really good experience, I have to say.
Yeah, and I can always only say thank you for doing the main moderation. I was busy keeping all the video running for our panel. Actually, when we organized this, I didn't think it would be so stressful to make sure that nobody gets disconnected in a Skype call with so many people, but afterwards I was like, oh my god, this is really more stressful than I thought, because we had this little grid view that Skype implemented in July, and it's a preview function, and I think it worked pretty well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we could start with the first appointment, which was actually our C64 real hardware network gaming that I prepared with Martin Amann at the beginning, and we got some feedback that it was surprising. Nothing crashed, nothing stopped working, and the racing was quite enjoyable, I was told.
Yeah, it really was. Actually, also for me, because I bought this RRNet cartridge for the C64, I think, half a year ago, but I didn't have anything to do with it. And for the Gamescom, we had the pressure again to get all things done, to get all the games actually to test it all. And for the Gamescom, I got a new router, you say?
Yeah.
So it was quite helpful for my personal life here, because now everything in this home is connected. So thanks for Gamescom again. And I was really surprised when we first had our first games and tested this. It went well, very fluently, I have to say. And to have the C64 now, it's such a good feeling, I think.
Yeah, I think this is also a very interesting aspect, just like what you mentioned before, just like the Gamescom put up a better version of this Discord tool online. But if you see that all this complete thing was organized in just, let's say, some weeks, and we are just like computer-related people, and we just set everything up. And I mean, not only Scene World, but also the complete retro area. Everyone were just like left alone with the problem, but it worked just like 98% of the time. So I think this alone is amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the beginning when we were planning this, we had the fear that people would drop off because the gaming experience of RNet Racer is not really very exciting in itself, but due to our exposure of being who we are, we made it interesting for the people to watch. And I was actually a week after, I was in another Twitch stream as a guest on the chat, and when I said like, hey, so nice to see somebody else who also participated. And then one of her audience said like, oh, you were the guys with the very interesting racing game. I was like, oh, thank you, that's nice to hear. So I guess that worked pretty well. Apart from the technical side, it was very difficult to get the panel members together. Getting everybody to agree on the same time between time zones wasn't so easy. I thought it would be easier, but
Really, you didn't, because I mean, we had certain slots that were ours. So if you can't agree to do that time slot, then you're not there. So
Right.
it's not like when we do the podcast and we have a guest on, we negotiate when we're going to do it. Like normally we record on these days at these times, but we can work around that if your schedule doesn't work. This is when the panel is. Be there or don't.
Yeah.
But I think more the problem is, and I think we will still have this problem in 10 years. Just like, hello, can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello?
Of course.
Can you hear me? Oh.
Yeah, but that was for different reason. Because if you don't charge your headset, you have a problem.
Yeah.
I think this is also one takeaway. Just what you mentioned before, this complete week before was just like work. Making this configuration, making the setup is always hard work, because it's just like, I don't know what this microphone here, and then this tool crashes, and here and there, and
yeah. Microsoft did an update to the USB part of Windows 10, and for some reason my capture card decided to blue screen on me. So half an hour before the live stream, I had to get another capture card and connect it instead. So I was like, okay, good that I always have a backup. But in the worst case, if my computer would shut down or my internet would stop working, then there would be a black stream.
Yeah.
But fortunately, that didn't happen. German Telecom was stable, so all good.
Yeah, just like I also had this one talk where I made a small tiny change on the setup that we tested before, and this then led to video files I played were just like having a frame rate of 3 frames per second. So also here the take, never change something on the setup if you tested it once.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had a couple of scary moments. I think the last panel that we did with Tommy Tallarico, something went bad with my connection. Something wasn't working right, and I'm watching, because I'm just watching this in the Skype window, and I'm watching one by one people's video is disappearing.
Ooh.
And I'm messaging. I think I was messaging Martin A. I think I was messaging you like, is this happening to you? Like, what's going on? And he's like, no, everything looks fine on me, and I'm recording it over here, and it's fine. But I was losing the streams in Skype, and I'm just sitting there like just don't disconnect, don't drop, because I'm like emceeing this panel, like I'm the moderator of this, and people are talking, and I can't see them anymore. The people I can see, their slideshow movement, like that. If I can barely make them out, they're just a fuzzy blob on my screen. No idea what that was, but
I always try to imagine just like having this video conferencing, just like in a real world setup. It's just like, hey, did you take pills or what?
Exactly. Yeah. It was like I'm tripping.
What I have to say, what made me very happy is that we had, as Scene World, we had all these panels where we discussed with people some technical issues, which isn't that fancy gaming thing with lots of music or graphics or anything. It's just old people talking about things, and actually now we could see our strength as a group is because I think we had some very good panels here due to our guests and to the thing. But if I remember on Gamescom itself, we had some panels too, which weren't that good organized. Which some went good, some did not get this good. So I was very, very happy with our result at the end. So it's another issue, I think, which went really better than on the real fair itself.
Which is interesting because the grid view that we used, and I basically screens captured during the panels, is actually a preview function of Skype. So even this is pre-beta, and it worked, Yeah. But I mean, this is how Martin Amann became a team member back in the day when we were when HAI and Senat were making online multiplayer with an alpha version of the functionality on Vice. And I remember you, Martin, you said like, you guys are crazy to do that. That's amazing. How can I join you?
Yeah.
And now he's sitting there, you know. So if even some event like Gamescom is using beta software for a live stream with millions of people watching, then hey, we can use a preview function on Skype to make it work. As long as it doesn't crash, nobody cares in what status the software is.
What I like about this online streaming experience is when you get to the point where you feel really connected. Just like I think this was also the thing that was so interesting at this playing together the C64 game, because this was the moment you realize here are the folks on Discord, then there's AJ from the States, and then you're connected just like 300 kilometers away, and then you realize this is actually really happening right now. I think this is where these online formats have to develop into to get this feeling of connectedness.
Yeah.
And we also had this on the other panels when you realize, hey, they are all distributed all over the world, but making this panel here together.
Yeah. And I mean we came far. I mean, I remember when Skype was new in August 2003, the audio stream was only half duplex, so only one person at a time could speak.
Ooh.
And
Really?
before that there was Yahoo, and you had to press a space key to talk. So I remember the early days of video and voice calling. That
just
was
like with the
experience.
walkie-talkie, like.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember those times, you know, and it's amazing how far we came with Skype, and the good thing is everybody has an account, everybody knows it, so it's like, give me your username, easy, you know, and people ask us, how did you get Hans Ippisch and Tommy Tellerico on the panel? And I was like, we asked them.
Oh.
Yeah.
We forced them to do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, imagine if my internet would have crashed or my computer would have crashed, and Tommy or Hans sitting in a panel. I guess I'm sure they would be not very happy if this happened, because while for us it is a hobby, for other people it's their business. So their product presentation was very important to them, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, I have to say thank you for Martin Amann to sit there one day before until 2:30 in the night re-rendering videos.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Because of a little change, Gamescom told us the evening before, you know? So.
Well, these things happen. It's the first time for all of us. Also for the Gamescom, actually. So,
Right.
nobody knew what will be happen, what can happen, what could happen. Well, and actually, well, we did it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I think we did our best. Certainly, and I hope when there is another virtual Gamescom next year, it will be easier because we already know what is expected to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a funny thing I was just remembering, because there was the last stream, I think it was on Saturday, where this super big live stream that went into the night.
Oh, you mean the retro compot?
Yeah, and then even the Gamescom just like pulled the plug and said nobody will stream until the end of the night, and then we were still streaming, and then all were heading over to Twitch to continue the stream because the retro people just did not stop to talk.
Yeah.
Super funny moment.
Oh, actually, I think we have just to mention our SeaWorld Bavarian squad.
Oh yes,
Because
yes.
we didn't talk about them because I think that they got all the SeaWorld thing in to another level just because Jürgen and his boys did a lot of new intros, a lot of new live techniques. We could do some interesting stuff actually. So I think we have to thank them a lot.
Yeah,
Jürgen, if you see
yeah.
this, and the boys, thank you very much.
Oh yes, it was awesome. But
Yeah.
it was a pity because I had a phone call with one of his sons, and he was like, "Yeah, we are streaming with 60 frames per second and 1080p." And then a few days before, we received the email from Sebastian Kreiner, who did the technical realization, and he said like, for backup reasons and to make sure that everybody around the world can see the stream, it will be 30 frames per second, 720p.
No.
Well,
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe the 4K webcam wasn't necessary.
Shooting with cannons on.
Yeah.
shooting with cannons.
Yeah.
Ooh, there you go. Hey.
I was actually thinking about the printers.
The
No,
Same company.
You don't shoot with the cannon
Yeah, you
printers. No, don't.
Here.
Well, I have one here, but
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I mean, from what I saw on the statistics and stuff, apart from the retro stream, there were a lot of visitors from France,
okay.
from Spain, and that's surprising because, you know, we are all around the same age, and we learn things like French people are not very comfy with English, but when I saw the little kids last year, I had a lot of conversations with parents from France. Of course, they had to translate into English because their small kids couldn't understand English, you know. But I think the positive side effect of making this virtual for Gamescom is that people who are otherwise not able to travel because maybe they can't get holidays, or it's too expensive to get a flight ticket, or they are not in the financial situation in general, it's perfect for them because they could also take part at Gamescom for the first time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I am very happy that Gamescom decided not to have a paywall for this event,
Yes.
True.
which was in the speaking before. So
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it also shows that the language barrier is starting to get smaller because people more and more realize if we all speak different languages, this is not going to work. Gamescom didn't have French, Spanish, and whatever translations. They just had
Well, you know,
one
and
stream
speaking
for
of that,
each.
that language barrier, we also we were probably one of the only people on there that actually streamed in English.
Apart from Bill Winters.
Yeah.
Apart
Yeah.
from Bill Winters. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we had discussions about that, and before the live stream, and we were actually originally planning to considering to do more German content, but then when we were asked like, could you preferably stick to English? I was like, yeah, that's even easier for us.
Yeah. I mean, that's
So,
what most people were asked. I thought was that, you know, that was generally what we were supposed to be doing, and then every other one that I watched was not in English.
Oh yeah, that's true. Also, some people from the Netherlands, for example, could also not that be fluently into German. But English, of course. I mean, English is widely understood, and yeah. Mhm.
Well, I mean, there were people who made the argument that only 25% of all Germans are speaking fluent English, but then the thing is, if you are not into games, you're not watching Gamescom.
Well, but okay. So the thing is that you know, yes, it's a German, it's a convention that happens in Germany, yes, and it is largely populated by Germans, which is understood. So when you're doing an actual physical Gamescom, then doing it all in German makes more sense, because that's where most of your visitors are going to be from. But in this instance,
they are not even doing that. They are not
Right.
even doing that.
I know,
Even
yeah.
the Gamescom, the physical Gamescom is
right.
English too. Yeah.
Right, but in this particular instance, it's completely virtual, so it's open to everybody, and so you know it's. And I'm not saying that English is necessarily, because there's English is not the most spoken language in the world. You know, I mean, we could have done it in any number of languages in which it would have, you know, trying to cater to the people who would be watching it the most.
Yes, but the idea of having a common language is, can I communicate with this person? You just do it. And that's,
right.
That's actually my approach, you know. I know this when I listen to other people talking on the phone, the first thing they ask is, do you speak English? I don't do that. I just speak English. What is the point if the other person is saying, no, I don't speak English? And then I don't. For the interview with the Yandex Computer Museum, we lost in touch. We weren't in touch for a while. So I actually was calling their front desk, you know, like, what's the point of calling to Moscow asking, do you speak English? There's no point asking that. I just talk.
Yeah.
I think it's always also a problem if you want to start a new project in Germany or a startup or whatever. You always have the question: should we make this in German or in English?
It shouldn't be a question.
But you know, there are some certain things where and sometimes I just like I'm jealous on the people from the US, because they never have to ask this question.
Yeah.
I mean, AJ,
do not exist.
AJ, you probably remember this is how we got the Bolo Museum interview.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Winters was asking around on Facebook, who can help those guys in the French part of Switzerland?
Yeah.
And my reply was like, do your rescue homepage in English.
Yeah.
And let them talk to us in English, then we will do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day we had an appointment. It was that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. Anyway, I mean, my reaction is always like, we are seen world, we are not seen Europe or seen Germany.
Mm-hmm.
It's really is a thing. Right. So I don't know what else should we cover here. I mean, that was basically what we did. Jürgen and the Bavarian guys did the German paper Mac history thing in German. You did your farewell speech about Tassilo Rao.
Yeah.
And Martin and I, we did network streaming and panels.
Yeah.
And AJ was there as well helping, yeah.
Which was awesome too, because you had to stand up when exactly?
Yeah.
Get up at 5, no problem. Yeah.
But I was very thankful that you were there all the time, because it gives a feeling of, well, I don't know how to say. You see AJ there, you are safe. It is.
You can't go to hell because AJ is heller.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oha, I think for the. Okay.
Yeah.
It was cool too, because in between these things, like we were messaging back and forth and calling each other and trying to set things up for the next one coming up, which is more interaction than we usually have. We'll have Facebook messages or maybe a WhatsApp group or something, but actually like bopping onto Skype and talking to each other and trying to figure things out. We don't normally do that often.
I missed Victor a bit because unfortunately he catched COVID 2 days before Gamescom, so he couldn't.
Yeah.
That was I found this a bit sad because he was so much involved in the organization of this panel and live stream things, and then 2 days before he said like, no, I'm sick. But next year hopefully, and if it happened physically or perhaps 22, then AJ, Victor, and all the others, we could meet in person.
Yeah.
Peru, America, Germany, all together.
Every continent. We got to get every continent. We have anyone in Australia?
From Africa who wants to join us?
Who will pay for all this?
Start a GoFundMe now.
Yeah.
So do you think that this is going to be online next year? Do you think it's going to be the same thing? Or do you think it's going to go back to being normal?
Yeah, Frank,
I was...
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It's always this... Yeah, sorry. I'm more just like wondering what the winter will bring, because, I mean, long, dark nights and all the technology we have here. So I think it should be totally obvious that there will be much more of things like this during winter time. And even it's just like, I don't know, people trying to experiment to stream something on Twitch, or I don't know. About next summer, nobody knows.
Right.
I can tell you what Friday evening will bring to me: a haircut.
Okay.
I also had my first Corona haircut during this week.
So see, because I thought the second wave is coming. They say any moment, so I rather should have a haircut now before it's actually coming.
Yeah.
I had haircut and dentist, so I'm fine.
Yeah.
For the next 6 months. I don't know. I'm also could imagine that just like having sort of hybrid events, just like maybe next year Gamescom will be not fully blown with 300,000 people coming along, but maybe with some restriction and parts online, parts not. I don't know if this would be a suitable setup or not.
And if you consider that Gamescom was actually considering making it 24/7, that's even
Oh yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well.
But also with having online parties.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have Victor and AJ there. I mean, they are from a different time zone. They can do the night shift, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jet lag? What's that?
That's I mean, that was the funniest part of this, because we we were in the retro Bourse, or what was that? What the long one that we got invited to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. The Retro Kompott.
Kompott, yeah, the Retro Kompott, yeah. We were in that one, and it went on and on and on, and I'm watching everybody else, like I'm watching them just getting lower and lower in their seats, because it's 2-3 o'clock in the morning for you guys. And it's like, it's 5 p.m. here. I can do this all night.
I was leaving early because I couldn't sit straight.
Yeah.
I actually got calls on my WhatsApp saying like, "Can you sit straight because you are falling out of the picture?" I'm saying like, "No, I can't. I'm dead tired. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
But since the stream and the recording is in speaker view, nobody saw it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Right.
There was a lot of that. And I mean, I know Martin was in other stuff. Martin Amon. It's difficult with two of you here. Martin Amon was also taking part in some of Retrocram, or maybe no, not Retrocram.
Yeah, it was Retrocram.
It was. Okay.
Yeah, but it was decided 5 minutes before
right.
starting point.
Yeah. Right, but so like he was also doing other stuff, along with us. So it's like there was even more of that kind of, just kind of wearing yourself out, which It's the sort of thing you would have, if this was actually an event that you were at. You're going to get pulled over to another booth because everybody knows everybody.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, these physical Gamescom have funny moments, I remember when I was in the business area, first day, our first appointment was with Gary Penn, about autonauts, and Martin Amann was with me as the camera guy, and when we returned, we saw John Hare, and John Hare, he was looking like a car. What are you doing here? Yeah, we were just coming from an interview with Gary Penn. That's so funny because the 2 years before, we actually were at THQ Nordic and had an appointment there for Equinox. In the same time, the 3D Realm guys had an appointment there.
Yeah.
So you see other pioneers in the business area that normally you wouldn't see because they are not hanging around in the entertainment area. So I really enjoyed that a lot, because they're like, what are those guys doing here, and from all those retro booths that were there next to ours, I think we are always the ones taking the most out of it.
Yeah.
We are in business meetings and presentations and stuff, and I really love that. It's like, wow, I can see this game before anybody else, and I don't have to stand 5 hours in a queue for 5 minutes gameplay.
I also have a nice funny story about this year's Gamescom, because the weekend after the Gamescom, I went here to the Retro-Spiel store where you can buy old consoles and old games and stuff like that. And I was having a phone call before, and he said just like, you can come tomorrow, but more just like in the evening, because then there are not so much people there. And then I went there, and then there was standing in line people in a queue waiting to get into the retro game store. Of course, because of COVID, there were only 2 people allowed to enter the shop. But I was standing there in line for, I don't know, 30 minutes maybe, and I was just like, I never imagined something just like in the year 2020, standing in a queue in front of a retro shop. This is so totally weird.
I mean, Martin Amann and I, we did the. You remember this last year, Martin, right? We had phone calls in the night because we get appointments for presentations. I was like, how are we supposed to attend on every spot? We got so much retro themed appointments. Retro is really wow.
But I think it's also because of the whole Corona situation. People are more just like decided then, better I get a new game when I have to sit at home anyway.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I think this is one of the reasons, of course.
The gaming business is really doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was even one day in this pandemic where Steam was down. Steam.
What? Whoa! I never.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't heard this.
And Martin Amann and I, we were sitting there in the second Steam was down.
I remember when we tried to play this.
Comanche.
Comanche, yeah.
Like, Steam can't connect to your network. Oh, nice. And I think we had to give up, right? We had to try another day. Yeah, and then later on I was reading online. Yeah, Steam was down for a couple of hours. Like, yeah. So who would think that a part of the internet break down because of video games?
Yeah.
And home office, of course. Playing games from home.
Yeah.
So perhaps this is just the right second for a cut, because I think the picture of Martin Wisnowski is frozen.
Really? Not for me.
That's moving for
Okay.
me.
No?
Now it's back again. I said nothing.
Okay.
Nothing is said by me. Cheers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we got it covered. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what else we should mention about Gamescom.
No, well, the videos are all online. So if you go onto YouTube, onto our channel, you can see all of the recorded streams, and they're about an hour long or so. So it's not like you're getting in for a 13-hour streaming session or video session. Just it's like an hour long, and it's pretty interesting. And
yeah,
they're all separated into their individual chunkillets. And at some point, I don't know when, there should be a Gamescom page with all of these videos indexed by when they happened.
There is one by by the Return magazine,
Okay.
and we tweeted about that.
Okay.
But I will link to that as well.
Uh-huh.
And we also have in our YouTube channel, we have a playlist for Gamescom 2020, and we will link to that in the podcast description.
Yes.
Yay.
Ooh.
Nice. Well, thanks for sitting with us, guys, and
Yes.
thanks for sitting with us during the virtual Gamescom.
Mhm.
And see you next year, either in
See you before
live
next
stream?
year. Wait, who are we talking to? Are we talking to are the people that are in the stream with us right now, or are we talking to like the audience that are listening to this?
Right. You see, I'm still in this Gamescom mood.
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.